Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
A community divided over a dog adoption. Some neighbors say the dog is way too dangerous to be left alive.
The heat high is slowly weakening and moving out of town. We'll talk about what that means for temperatures, how much cooler it's going to get, and when rain chances return.
This oppressive heat wave blanketing Texas, now responsible for the deaths of more than a dozen people, 11 in Webb County alone.
And here's the thing, that Texans really aren't alone in this. People from here all the way up to Tennessee were under government heat warnings today, and the temperature isn't expected to turn down for a few more days.
If someone is suffering from a heat-related illness, health officials say you need to act quickly. In some cases, that might even mean CPR. Here's
the thing, though. Data from the American Heart Association shows that Black and Hispanic Americans are less likely to get the help that they need during these medical emergencies. Our Night Team's Avery Everett breaks down that CPR data tonight and also tells us how our community can change that statistic.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
With every beat
Up in the left shoulder.
Diamond Garza says there's a better chance.
Giving CPR doesn't always mean we're going to have a positive outcome, but it gives this person a chance of survival.
A skill that can save lives.
Sir, are you okay?
Garza says she tries to teach CPR to just about everyone.
Foster parents, construction workers, attorneys, bankers, anybody under the sun.
But there's concern that who actually needs the life-saving measure isn't receiving it.
The statistic that Black and Hispanic adults are less likely to receive CPR is nothing new, but classes like this one are trying to change that culture.
And that stat comes as no surprise to Brenda Delgado.
Not at all.
She says her classes are mostly white, and she says changing this statistic comes down to accessibility and education.
The group that's more trained, that's more likely to take a class, then part of your responsibility as a CPR provider is to try and get that word out.
Because of lack of training? Is it because they don't want to get out there? Is it because people are scared of touching? That is something that we have to think about.
When it comes to safety, Garza says it's worth any chance.
We're all humans. We need help.
It seems like a simple beat.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
But Garza says it's time to give everyone a chance at survival.
A CPR class like this one costs around $65. If you're looking to get this training but not break the bank, we have tips and tools on our website, KSAT.com, to help you get there. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
You literally could save a life.
Yeah.
Well, with temperatures in the extremes nearly every day, the Southwest Texas Regional Advisory Council stressing the dangers of leaving your kids in hot cars.
Something we talk about every single summer. You know, Texas had the most heat-related deaths in the country last year. The council says that visual reminders like toys and car seats help parents remember that they have a kid in the car. And if you do see a child in danger or suffering from a heat stroke, they say that you are protected by law to help them if you need to break a window.
Anything that we can remind parents or caregivers to look in the back seat. Don't be in that big a rush, because again, if you lose a child, it's going to devastate your family forever.
The chief goes on to say that after 4 minutes of no oxygen, the brain starts shutting down, so you need to be quick when you're trying to save someone's life.
Now, new on the Nightbeat, VIA says that it is listening to neighbors' concerns about redeveloping the Scobie complex. It's a property near downtown that VIA owns, and it wants to turn it into a mixed-use space with some affordable housing. One neighbor told KSAT that she's concerned that housing may not be considered affordable for that area. VIA says that it's working with a development firm, Dream On, to redevelop the space. However, VIA is also saying that it would not serve as a landlord. Now, in a statement shared with KSAT tonight, VIA says in part, quote, while our development partner continues to do its due diligence before returning to VIA with a proposed binding development agreement, we will continue to listen to the community and work to address concerns as they arise. The state legislature back at work on a potential property tax cut plan. House lawmakers returning today for the governor's second special session.
But there are a lot of questions about whether anything will change in either chamber's proposals. The Texas Tribune reports the House standing by its previous plan.
Now, it would send $12.3 billion to school districts to lower their tax rates for home and business owners. The full House has yet to vote on the plan, but state representatives are expected to meet again on Friday. Now, meanwhile, the Senate has already passed its own plan unanimously today. It would spend part of the state's earmarked funds on increasing the homestead exemption from $40,000 to $100,000.
More than 2/3 of the $12.3 billion would go to school districts to lower their tax rates. This version also includes an amendment aimed at boosting teacher pay, at least temporarily. It would use the state's surplus funds to give Texas teachers a one-time bonus of at least $2,000, depending on the size of the school district. Now, if the House passes its own version Friday and adjourns, that could be deja vu in Austin, with nothing making it to Governor Abbott's desk again. However, he has promised to call special sessions until a deal is reached. But portions of that deal would also need approval from Texas voters and time ticking to get something on the November ballot. That deadline, by the way, is August 21st.
You know, they did try, several families desperately jumping into action, trying to keep a fire from spreading to their apartments. It was huge, but in the end, the fire at the Vista del Rey apartments destroyed 12 units. You could see the fire from miles away, as we just showed you a moment ago. Leon Valley fire crews had trouble accessing the building because all 3 gates to that complex were closed. So imagine the panic there. People there started to pick up fire extinguishers, as you see right there, to try and put out those flames.
So we had to find a water hose, and there's no water pressure. And then we took all these fire extinguishers, about 6, 7, couldn't get it. So we just had to get everybody out.
How could you imagine? Now, the Red Cross at this point is helping everybody who was displaced by that fire.
A man is dead after being crushed by several marble slabs. He was trying to unload from a truck near 281. It happened on Tacoma Drive this morning when police say the truck driver was apparently unloading or trying to move some of those slabs of marble when the load got loose and fell on top of him. The truck driver came from Houston, was by himself when he was buried by that marble. The man's name is yet to be released.
A San Antonio man back in custody after he escaped from jail for just a short time today. Deputies say that Roque Chavez was getting ready to begin a jail sentence when he ran away from an unsecured area of the Bexar County Jail. Chavez was originally supposed to serve 30 days in lifetime recovery for a criminal mischief conviction, but now he's facing additional charges after trying to escape.
From dump dogs to abandoned dogs killing cats and now to being rescued. At least one of the dogs abandoned in a West Side neighborhood last month now has a new home.
But as the Night Team's John Paul Barajas reports, not all of those who live in that area are fond of the idea of giving that dog a second chance.
She has no reason to trust anybody, no reason to want to love, but she's just love.
A happy ending for a dog that was abandoned and left to fend for itself for nearly 3 weeks. This pit bull mix has a new name, Sabina, and a new home with Jenny Slater.
She was terrified, she was scared. She was scared of the water bowl, like if you tried to hold the water bowl for her. Her face was all beat up. So she's come a long way in a couple weeks.
Sabina was caught and set to be euthanized until Slater specifically asked to adopt her. Sabina is one of the dogs accused of attacking and killing multiple cats in this West Side neighborhood, a past that has some questioning Sabina's future.
It was a horrific death when you have your own pet being just terribly, torn apart by 2 dogs. I feel sorry for these animals, but when they're loose that long and they start posing danger in the neighborhoods, it's scary.
This woman asked to remain anonymous, but she wasn't the only one concerned. One resident sent us an email that reads in part, "I cannot understand why a dog known to have participated in killing at least 6 cats would be deemed safe to return to the community."
I hate that happened. Like I am in no way want to minimize the loss and the grief of the people that lost their pets, because I would be heartbroken if I lost my pet. She's not a bad dog. She was just in a bad situation.
Now, we asked ACS about why Sabina was allowed to be adopted or placed. They tell us that each case is different and they are all reviewed. They also said that generally any animal is allowed to be placed as long as they don't show unprovoked or repeat aggressive behavior towards people. As for the other dog that was abandoned with Sabina, ACS has not caught that dog, and people in that neighborhood have not seen it in weeks. At ACS, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. Now, the answer that millions of Americans are waiting for could come tomorrow morning as the Supreme Court justices are set to release decisions on a handful of big cases. One of those includes the long-awaited decision on President Biden's student loan forgiveness program. Justices are also expected to rule on an affirmative action case. The court is deciding whether colleges or universities can continue to consider race in the admission process. The court has 7 opinions left to release before the justices begin their summer break.
It's still to come on the Nightbeat. Too hot to go eat. Some Alamo City restaurants say the extreme heat is costing them business. Their message to customers coming up. And a holiday weekend headache. Thousands of flyers might not make it to their destination in what's expected to be the busiest travel weekend of the year. Find out what's holding them up. And turning on the stove or oven during this heat wave, probably the last thing a lot of us want to do right now.
But going outside to pick up food doesn't really sound like a good idea either. Restaurant owners are telling us, the Night Team's Patty Santos, that the heat is actually burning their summer earnings.
May sales comps over May last year, really strong. So I had really bullish forecasts going into the summer.
L&L Hawaiian barbecue owner Sarah Yee says the summer season carries the entire year for many restaurant owners. But 3 weeks into June, it's been a bust.
So we are in our 3rd plus week of this heat wave, and it's taking its toll.
Talking with others in the industry, she says the heat is wreaking havoc on them too.
And according to their matrix, it's easily about 10% decrease. For my organization, we're looking at about a 20% decrease, June versus June of 2022.
She says even food delivery orders are down and drivers are running late.
This restaurant should have customers right now. It's empty. Phone-in orders, even the L&L loyalty app is not being utilized as much.
They're worried about the fact that people aren't eating out as much, but they're also worried about what's happening behind there in the kitchen.
Especially my chefs in the kitchen. We rotate them to take a refrigerated walk-in break. We've got popsicles back there. We augmented the kitchen with additional fans, and we're offering them a lot of breaks.
Visit San Antonio says it's too soon to say how the summer heat is impacting tourism this summer, but they want people to remember there are cool options in the city.
And in San Antonio, we have so many ways to enjoy the city while staying indoors in air-conditioned places.
Marinated and all the...
And Yee hopes it builds up an appetite.
I know it's hot, but come on out, support your local restaurants. We count on all of your visits to survive.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
All right, hopefully things pick back up for them. Switching gears now, millions are planning to fly this weekend in what's expected to be the busiest 4th of July travel weekend on record.
Yeah, several weather-related factors, though, affecting airline operations this week. Stormy weather in the Northeast, scorching temperatures here in Texas, and hazy smoke blanketing parts of the Midwest from the Canadian wildfires. Those forces of nature causing more than 38,000 U.S. flight cancellations or delays since Saturday. As the travel nightmare persists across the nation, well, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is empathizing with passengers who are stuck as they try to head to their holiday destinations.
We're going to continue working on everything that the FAA can control, and we're going to continue pressing the airlines to handle everything that's under their control.
Now, SA International says that it is expecting nearly 100,000 flyers between tomorrow and next Tuesday. And they're also saying that July is on track to being a record-breaking month for the airport. So we'll see.
Yeah, let's take a live look outside. And yes, we've got a string of hot days right now, but last year was really hot too, Adam.
Yeah, last year was hotter overall, and so far. Now, we've had more 100-degree days last year by this time than we did this year, but it's unique this year in that it's been so oppressively humid, and that's a result of all of the rainfall we had in April and May, added soil moisture, added foliage, all the greenery that just adds humidity to the air with the evapotranspiration. That's all slowly cutting back, though. And also, our heat high is weakening and it's leaving. It's moving out of town. So soon we're not going to be as hot. And rain chances will return as well. We'll also take a look at where the African dust is and where it's going to head over the next week. Let's first take a look at our temperature trend. 100 even tomorrow, Friday and Saturday for the highs, then upper 90s by Sunday. By the early part of next week, we're talking mid 90s. And by the 4th of July, 95 for the high temperature. So some changes. Let's talk about the heat high, where it is now. Of course, it's almost directly overhead, but it has started to nudge a little eastward. On Monday, we had it centered basically over Big Bend area. It's slowly working its way eastward. Underneath the heat high, it's pushing down on us. That's, of course, where we have the highest and hottest temperatures in the nation, indicated by that pink and red color. So highs today, 102 in San Antonio, San Angelo, 108, El Paso, 107. And notice we're hotter than Las Vegas today. Vegas, 98 degrees and a dry 98 degrees. But underneath that heat high, many locations in the triple digits. And that's, of course, on the warm side of the jet stream. On the cooler side, northern tier of the U.S., 70s and 80s. So there is some cooler air out there. It's just not here. Now, this heat high is going to continue to move eastward and weaken as it does so. That's going to leave the door open for some disturbances. And what I think we'll have is a very subtle and weak upper level swirl with a bit of energy that then could introduce some rain chances in the days ahead. We're talking a 10% chance Saturday afternoon, 20% Monday through Wednesday. So isolated in nature, nothing to get excited about, but it's better than nothing. And there's some hope for your neighborhood. It's the diurnal activity where it kicks up a little bit late afternoon and then tapers off after sunset. So cross your fingers for your neighborhood and we'll see what we get. And of course, remember, this is one of those forecasts that will likely change between now and then, so check back for updates. I want to give you a quick update on the Saharan dust, the African dust. It's still far out in the Atlantic, but it is forecasted to move westward into the Caribbean by this weekend. And then check this out, widespread over the Gulf of Mexico by this time next week. It wouldn't surprise me if we get some haze from this by the end of next week. We're talking 8-9 days from now. And while we're on the topic of the tropics, we still have this one little area that we're watching for a 20% chance of development that's currently south of Bermuda, and it would be moving northward. But low end odds with this system, nothing that would be headed our way to give us any precipitation. Otherwise, tomorrow, more of the same. A lot of sunshine, but not as hot. We're baby stepping our way down. 100 degrees tomorrow, southeasterly wind at 10 to 20. It'll feel like it's closer to 104. Comfort 97, Rio Medina 98, Floresville 100 degrees. Looking at this map, comparing it to days past, we're already starting to see that change. And notice a little extra cloud cover by this weekend and even into next week. I do think with the upper level heat high moving out of town, it will also provide some clouds, which is more than just variety and eye candy to the sky, but adds a little natural shade. You ever heard of splooting?
I learned about it at 5 and 6.
Well, you wouldn't stop talking about it.
We're going to show some splooting later.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So you know what? And you looked at that, just that weather right there, and you go, oh, geez. But eventually things are going to get better, and we want the kiddos to get out there. There's a new basketball court.
Yeah, and what's cool about this renovated basketball court, I have no idea what it looked like beforehand, but it's covered. So that's pretty cool. The kids can get out there, and play when it's hot out and sunny, and they're covered, right? Spurs Give is fantastic. Bassie and Wesley were there to help give this new court. Plus, check it out. It's ring night for the Clark Cougars one more time to celebrate their championship coming up. The number one pick in the NBA draft, Victor Wembanyama, is now 7'3.5". He was measured without shoes per NBA guidelines. That's a half-inch taller than Wemby said he was back in October. And his game day debut in a Spurs jersey is going to have to wait because he will not join the team in Sacramento for the California Classic that tips off July 3rd. He'll join the Spurs in Las Vegas instead. Wemby will practice with the Summer League squad until the team departs for Sacramento on Saturday. Charles Bassie is impressed with Wemby's game.
I mean, I haven't met him yet, but, I've seen videos, I've seen, in the introduction and everything, it's going to be a fun year, man. It's going to be a good season, he's got talent, he knows how to shoot it, he can play.
50 kids got to play on the newly renovated basketball court at Rainbow Hills Park this morning. Bassie and Blake Wesley celebrated by holding a basketball clinic for the kids. Spurs Give, the City of San Antonio Parks and Recreation Department, and the San Antonio Retail Merchants Association came through once again.
We're not naive enough to know that just putting a basketball court in a community is the thing that changes a community. We are also aware enough to know that showing up in community with the Spurs commitment to ensuring that we build leaders and we build legacies for the future, we got to create space to do that. And the basketball court is a starting point for that. It's a starting point for most young people as they think about their next step, their journey. And so sport is that space. It's not just the court, right? It's the engagement with young people. It's the commitment with families. It's the Spurs Youth Basketball League. It's the ways that we connect our resources to get families what they need in that community that makes it last. The court is the car, the relationship, the engine.
The kids, ages 6 to 14, took part in basketball drills and skills competitions led by Spurs Sports Academy coaches. Former LSU guard and 2023 national champion Alexis Morris held a basketball skills camp today at the St. George Maronite Gym. She calls it the Camp with the Champ Tour. Morris was drafted in the second round by the Connecticut Sun in 2023 WNBA draft, but she was waived during training camp. So what does she want the kids to get out of her camp?
They need to walk out of here with something that they learned from camp, basketball related, teamwork, learning about teamwork, how to work hard, how to communicate effectively. You can't play basketball without talking. You can't do anything in life without communicating. So we're going to try to teach them life skills, but in for basketball. So like I said, just keep it fun, but also just teaching them life. You know, my experiences, I have so much wisdom to share with these kids, and you'll see. You'll hear about it.
Morris played for head coach Kim Mulkey for years and says Mulkey's lessons still resonate with her. In the bigs, the Astros beat the Cardinals 10-7 tonight, and the Rangers beat up the Tigers 10-2. Josh Young had 2 runs batted in. And in Texas League action, the Rough Riders beat the Missions at the Wolf tonight 4-2 in that series opener. The state champion Clark Cougars held a ring ceremony coming up right after the break. The Clark High School girls basketball team held a ring ceremony tonight to celebrate their UIL Class 6A state championship, and that is one awesome looking ring, right? Perry's Pizzeria and Tap House near 1604 and I-10 hosted the event. The Cougars went 34-3 overall, 16-0 in district, and they wrapped up their wonderful season back in early March by beating DeSoto in the Class 6A state championship 42-37 at the Alamo Dome. The girls recently received their championship rings, and coach wanted a ring ceremony to celebrate one more time before some of her seniors go off to college.
It's a really special moment for us. We've been kind of waiting on the rings, waiting on the culmination for a while now. So we're all really excited and really, just grateful for this opportunity and, what God blessed us with the talent, the ability, the skill to be able to bring a championship to San Antonio.
This moment, it's like, I don't know, it enlightens all of us. I can say, speak for all of us. It's so surreal. It's a dream come true, honestly, and to do it one last time, with this fun group and having everyone here one last time, it's so special and it means a lot to us.
Check out this slam dunk by Miss Robertson. She said she threw it down yesterday at her brother's camp and that she surprised herself. And the look on her face, yes, was both surprised and obviously very happy.
I like the fact that they got a little bling to take with them to college.
Yeah, isn't that
Those
cool?
Seniors,
yeah. Here's what I did. Check this out.
Oh, look at that. Oh, you're looking at my ring?
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Congratulations to them. And we'll be right back after the break.
There you go.
Go ahead. What is that?
It's
Tell us.
sploot time.
There you go.
Time for splooting. You see a lot of squirrels doing it these days, and not just this summer, but every summer you see this around here. And it's a way for them to try to cool off when they're feeling a little overheated by spreading themselves out along the ground. And it's not just squirrels. I was listening to NPR today, and the specialists say even bears will do this, in the woods and out in the wild and stuff during the heat of the summer. And as I said, not just squirrels. Look at Cash.
Nice.
Splooting in the pool. That's how you sploot in my book.
It's called cashing in.
Even the tortoise is splooting. And
we can't
dogs,
tell, though.
Yeah, raccoon's splooting. Yep. See, there you have it.
Shooter's going to shoot, owl's going to hoot, squirrels are going to
sploot, sploot, sploot.
Take that with you. Have a great night. Stay cool.